Hello, this is going to be my first installment of the cursive writing videos. I am a teacher who teaches in a private school in Washington State, and seems like every year we get new students that come from public school who have not been exposed to cursive before. For some reason or another, the public school has started to not teach cursive in their schools. I taught public for 10 years, and there's a lot that a teacher needs to teach daily, and it could be that there just wasn't enough time in the day to cover the cursive, or I'm not quite sure the reasoning behind it. However, the only thing I do know is that when I get students from public school, I teach fourth grade, and it's a little difficult for them to keep up since we start teaching cursive in second grade. So by the time they get to fourth grade, the students who have been at the school are pretty, they've already come pretty far in their cursive experience. So it's really hard for those new kids to catch up. So I thought if I made some videos, then those parents could help the students when, after school and so on, to get caught up with the rest of the class. So they'll feel more confident and more prepared for fourth grade at our school. I thought I'd also make it available for any parent who still wants their student to learn cursive, and maybe they're not being taught it at the moment if they're in public school. So we're going to get started. I like to introduce the cursive in fourth grade by reintroducing each letter in families, and so I decided to do the easiest family, which is the I family. So the I family consists of the letters I, J, P, R, S, T, U, and W. Those are all the letters that have the beginning of the letter the same way. And so that's what we're going to start with. So we'll start with the easiest one in the I family, and that is the I. So with all the letters in this family, you start at the bottom line, and there is a curve to it, and then you just go to the middle line. There's one letter that goes all the way to the top line, the T, but the other ones go to the middle line. Before, and I forgot to mention the 5 aspects of cursive that we always teach the students from day one, and that is, the first one is alignment. They need to make sure that their letters are on the bottom line. All of the letters sit on the bottom line. They don't float above it, and some of them, they don't go underneath the bottom line unless, of course, they're supposed to. The next one is size. They need to make sure the letters are the correct size. Shape is another thing that we talk about, one of the 5. Slant, and the way we teach the students is just, if you're right-handed, you're going to slant your paper just a tad this way, and that will get your slant. If you're left-handed, you're going to slant it the other way. I'm right-handed, so I will turn it just a bit to this direction. The last one would be spacing. So you need to make sure that the letters aren't touching each other, and there's a little bit more space between each word. So we'll get started. I'm going to start with just the general form of all the letters in this family. It's an you start at the bottom, go to the middle line. It's a curved line. And then with the I, you're going to follow it right back down, and then we finish it with a nice curve at the bottom, and that dot our I's. So that's just very simple, probably the simplest letter to try. The students every year remind me that it looks like a kitty cat mouth, and the dot would be his nose. So that's how we make the I. So think of a kitty cat mouth. And to put several I's together, goes like so. Looks like the waves of the ocean. I remind my students every year that we don't dot the I's until we are done. Oh, I forgot, my alignment was a little bit off there. We don't dot our I's until we're done with a word. Then we go back, start at the right, go to the left, and dot all the I's or whatever, across the T's or whatever you need to. But always go through the whole letter, the whole word first, and then go back and dot the I's and cross the T's and so on. So we should have a little bit of a slant. The letters should be shaped correctly. Alignment, they should all be sitting on the bottom line, the correct size. With the I, the I starts at the bottom line, touches the bottom line, and then goes to the midline as well. So that's the first letter in the I family. And the next letter is the J. Now the J starts like the I. However, when you come down, instead of curving and doing your little curve ending, your little hook, you're going to go straight down and you're going to go underneath the bottom line and you're going to go to the top of the next line and you put your tail. And your tail goes this direction, the same direction that the G would go. So that's what our J is. It's like a combination of an I and a G. We teach the students that when they cross, when they go the bottom of the tail needs to touch the top of the next line, and then it crosses at the bottom line. So here's a few more J's. And then for putting the J's together, it looks like so. And then dot, 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 dot. So if I put two letters together, we could make IJ, I, J. Would look like this, dot, dot. Or J, I, dot, dot. All right, so there's the I and the J. The next letter in the I family is the P. The P is a hard one to do. And it has a tail, like the J. It's kind of just the only way, the easiest way to do it is just to watch, and then you can see how it starts, how it's formed. The P, you make the I, and you go down like you're doing the J, and you go to the top of the next line. However, it's a little tricky, but instead of crossing, you're going to come around, and you're just going to go to the top. You're going to join it at not the top of the P, which is the midline, and then you come around and do a circle, and then back through. It's a little tricky. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could make a silly word. We could do JIP, J, I, P, dot, dot. Or PIDGE, P, I, G. Just gives us practice with putting letters together. All right, so the next letter on the in the I family is the R. There's different ways to teach the R, just like there's different ways to teach the P. You know, you could do a P without the little tail. You just follow it back up, and it's a little simpler version of the P without the little loopy tail. With the R, the way our curriculum teaches is we go make the I, and then we're just going to go a slant down, downward slant, and then come around through. Kind of looks like a rocking chair. However, the R, I mean, some other curriculums have taught you go up and then down and then do the little rocking chair back. However, we don't teach it this way. It's a little simpler version, like this. So let's see. We could do RIP, R, I, P. Another one, just the PR together, is a real common combination with words. PRI would look like so. All right, so the next letter in this family is the S. The S is one that students sometimes have trouble with. It just takes a little bit longer to learn. It's not too hard. With the S, we start the same way. We're going to go up like we're making an I. However, with the S, you have one diagonal going this way, and then you're going to go to the opposite way, another diagonal going down. So it's like this. And then as you get towards the end, to the bottom, you're going to curve, and it's going to touch where you started, and then you come back through. The thing that I remind the students is the top has to be pointy and the bottom has to be round. And it has to be one diagonal going one way, one diagonal going the other way. So it kind of looks like the top of a pointy mountain. Two mistakes that I see students making is they want to go and they want to go to the left too much and then come around. And we don't want an S looking like that. It looks, I don't know what it looks like. It doesn't look right. Kind of looks like a noodly kind of S. So we need to make sure that we go up and then around and round, coming back down. So it looks like the tip of a mountaintop. Another mistake students want to do is they want to do a little loopy at the bottom like this. We don't do a little loopy at the bottom. And then some students want to round out their S like that. So that's also not a good S. So those are the three common mistakes that I see. So just to remind us, let's do a letter S-I-P, sip. You can practice putting some letters with the S together. So that's how we would do that letter. All right, so the next letter is the T. The T is just like, we starts the same way. We're going up to make an I. However, we keep going to the top line, and then we come straight back down, and then finish it with that curve, and then we cross the T at the midline. So let me just do a couple more with the T. Cross. Some students have been taught to not go to the very top, to go like halfway between the middle and the top. That's just the way our curriculum teaches it. Let's see, mistakes with the T. Oh, one mistake that is common is just to go like this, and then to try to cross it. And we have to make sure that when we make our T, that we follow the line straight down so it looks like one line until you get the very bottom, and then you separate and then cross. So we could do, let's see, pit, like a deep pit, like the pit of a cherry pit, you could say that. Or tip, like the tip of an eraser or a tip of a pen. So that's how we would do those letters. And then we have a couple more. The next is the U. The U is just two I's together. The only difference is you don't dot them, and then it's a U. So let me move this paper up a little bit. I've got my speakers kind of in the way here. Okay, so there's the U. So let's do a few more. Now the U, we can try two U's together because that's kind of tricky. This is one U, this is another U. It looks kind of confusing. It kind of looks like a W that has one too many little ups, but there's a really good reason why we make our U's this way and our W's different, and it's just basically to tell the W and the U apart. So we'll go over that more when we get to the W. But with the U, it's just up, down, up, down. Let's see, we could do putt, like in golf we putt. So P, U, T, or up, or us. We can try the S. We can do us, U, S. And that's how we do that word. And the last one is the W. Now the W, similar to the U, up, down, up, down, up. But this is how you can tell the difference between the U and the W. When you're done with the W, you don't go to the bottom line. You go halfway between the midline and the bottom line, and then you go back to the middle line. That's how you finish up the W. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then finish like that. I'm trying to think. W is one that the kids want to do this. That we'll learn in another lesson. This is another form, another beginning of cursive, a family of cursive letters, and it's the up and over. I call it the roller coaster. You don't do that with the W. That's how you go into the V. So students, that's one common mistake that students will make, is they want to go up and over, but it's with the W, you have to start under. So like we could do wit. If you're very smart and you have a good sense of humor, we say you have wit. W-I-T. So there's that. All right, so the next thing I'd like to do at the last part of our lesson is to put some letters together to make some really good words. I have a list here. Get it. I've already come up with some. And then I'm sure you can come up with some more as well. We have sit, so we can try sit, S-I-T, cross your T, dot your I. We can try rust, R-U-S-T. The good thing about videos is, just thought of, if you'd need to you see something again, you can always pause it and go back. Twist, T. Oops, my light's turned off. There we go. So T-W, I-S-T. Cross your T, dot your I, cross your T. We could do us, so we already did us. We could do up, U, P. We could do trust, T, R, U, S. Oops, I kind of messed up that T. Cross your T, cross your T. We could do rips, R, I, P, S. And the next one, per. I hope I came up with some letters, some words that we can practice all those letters. All right, so that's the I family. So you can go ahead and get some lined pieces of paper and practice those. You can pause, rewind, practice however long you want, or however many times you need to. You can make up your own words, but those are the letters that are part of the I family. So this is my first lesson, and hopefully I'm hoping this will help some people. Thank you so much.